thoughts and practices that help keep society in a structure, whether it's good or bad, and we just saw what it's like these days. So, the thing is that barriers are comfortable because they help in identifying what the best thing to do, what's in, what's cool on which phone is cool, what brand is cool, and what the goons on TV tell us, what is Ghaddari or Tabdili. I mean, really, like he said, what is the mandate, right? So the question is that when we put up our Facebook status and we defend an institution that has a monopoly on violence, or we take sides, do we actually think where we are exactly there? Where are we? What for us is patriotism when we say, I want to improve my image as a Pakistani, but what do we do to the people who work for us at our homes? Do we talk to them like human beings? I don't think so, because we've got a barrier. So the point of my talk is to discuss how we can identify these barriers that are within us and outside us, and how we can challenge them and hopefully overcome them as a collective, not just me as Amna or you, or as a collective based on mutual aid, collaboration, and zimmedari. That's the main point, to be zimmedar. Now for me, my first barrier was identity. How am I perceived usually is, oh yes, she's a mummy daddy, iski अंग्रेजी बहुत अच्छी है, इसको कुछ पता नहीं है, she's got an elitist background. And of course, I get really angry and I say, no, but I'm more than that. So first, I had to ask myself, who am I? Because what I do translates into who I am. So what do we do to make who we are? Let's define identity. Okay, so has anybody heard of the term typecast? Typecast is a term used in performance arts, mostly in acting, when a role is given to a male or female or whatever actor, and they're given the same role again and again with every project, like Amresh Puri is the villain, and Sultan Rahi is the Jat, and you know that sweet lady who's the nani all the time in all those, I don't know her name, but yes, she's typecast. And similarly, we typecast ourselves to larger groups without understanding if I say I'm a Pakhtun, or if I'm a Baloch, or a Punjabi, or a Pakistani, and whatever I am, a male, female, old, brother, mother, sister, what is this identity? Because when we say that we're Sunni or Shia or Christian or Hindu, then what happens is it's easy to identify. There's comfort in that identity. But then the question is what we do in practice. What do we do in practice? Not much. I'll give you an example from history. Don't fall asleep. In 1954, when the anti-Ahmadi riots happened in Pakistan, then Justice Munir, he was one of the judges, he asked all the ulama from all the sects to come and define a true Muslim. And what happened was that nobody could agree to what a true Muslim is. This is in history, in 1954, you can read it up. So when we say what is something, first we need to see what are these definitions, who is instilling them? Schools, the corporations, state-funded propaganda, and the thing is, I'm not saying reject everything, I'm saying do your individual journey into understanding what these things are. So I'm saying break the barrier of societal brainwashing and use the internet not to understand who celebrities are or what the latest cut is or all of that, but use the internet to challenge your own biases. Pick up a subject that you're not so fond of, that you strongly feel about. Like the other day I was traveling in a bus and I heard this girl say, oh, I hate Jews, I hope they all die, I love Hitler. How many of you have heard this? I love Hitler. What's that about? You know, because if you were in Germany back then, you'd get killed too because you're brown. You know? So I don't understand this. So read, watch, listen to material about ideas that is not promoted by the mainstream. And critically engage with your coffee buddies and your family and strangers on the road. Just talk to them about something. It's interesting. The present situation is very bleak, and we must include ourselves in the ranks of those who question and challenge, because there are very few of us who do this. We love to follow trends. Why? Which is fine, okay, it's comfortable, but try and break that self-consciousness. And it's hard to do that because where the fault lines are in posh places like Islamabad, we see big billboards for lawn ads. So then we can't see anything else, you know. But what about in the peripheries, right? Outside of Islamabad. Does anybody know who Baba Jan is? Wow, yes, but I know who you are, so. But okay, put Baba Jan on hold for a second. What were we doing when 20,000 people in this very city were being rendered homeless? The children, women, and the men, all of them. In July 2015, we must have seen this on TV and we must have said, yes, they're all land grabbing thieves and CDA bahut acha kar raha hai. But to be honest, there is no affordable housing. That is a tenet. It's one of the articles in the Constitution to provide housing for everybody. And fine, we have lakhon ke plot in the F sectors, but what about those who will clean the stage up later, who will put these lights down, those who keep enabling us to do such amazing things? We need to think about them and question these things and bring public debate back as a fashion. Now, those two lovely cyclists were also talking about Gilgit-Baltistan, and I was getting so happy because now my story connects with theirs. Baba Jan is from Gilgit-Baltistan, and Baba Jan is in jail and falsely accused for inciting violence. And if I'm not going to tell you what he did, you all have to Google him, okay? Promise? Make this pledge to me that you'll Google Baba Jan. It's an interesting story if you're on his side or against him, whatever. Point is that Baba Jan spoke up for this Atabad lake that we heard about earlier. The Atabad lake flooded and many villages, 25 villages were flooded and many people died or were rendered homeless. Now Baba Jan said, hey, can you recompensate them? And what happened? He was thrown into jail. Why? Because Baba Jan tried to break the barrier of inequality. Now my question is, so while, by the way, Baba Jan was contesting for elections from the Awami Workers Party, and he came second place behind bars, and his campaign was started by his sister on a tractor with two blind men on the tractor going from village to village in the district to talk about this guy. And from behind bars, he beat all the major parties, except one, the local Nawab, whose family has been ruling for 900 years. So he beat him. But this, just Google Baba Jan election campaign and see the energy that the young people in Gilgit-Baltistan are exuding. Yes, go there, and I think you should interact with people there. People from other provinces, outside the big cities. Try and talk to them and say, what are your problems? We hear about these raw agents and this and that, but have we ever wondered that Bangladesh, which was 52% of the population in Pakistan, is the only country in the history of the world where the majority said, please, we want independence. Why? We have to understand our state. Our state needs to be people-friendly. And people like us need to talk about these beautiful, which I think is beautiful, the beautiful term of revolution, and I'm sure you all like that word. It sounds like breaking that big barrier, revolution. And it should not be talked about by big industrialists or society aunties. It should be done by us. We need to talk about this beautiful term. So, finally, let's start with our low barriers. We don't have to start questioning the state and get incarcerated. We can we can talk about who we are in our little community. We can take out a day in the week where rather than going for coffee or for whatever, we can sit outside because we've got lovely Islamabad. We can sit outside with our friends and talk about an idea every week or every month and try and engage with it so that this barrier between intellectuals and the privileged, like us, I'm also privileged, I'm here, between us and who we term as unpad jahil, that should be broken. And once that is broken, the greatest barrier is injustice. And once injustice is overcome, then we can truly reach greatness. So I'm going to stop now and end with another quote, because this quote helped me take my first step in the lifelong journey towards ending my internal barriers and my external. And it's lifelong, so I haven't overcome them yet. But good luck with your thing. Surf salam.
शबो रोज को हल्का कर दे। आइए हाथ उठाएं हम भी, हम जिन्हें रस्म दुआ याद नहीं, जिनकी आँखों को रुखे सुबह का यारा भी नहीं, उनकी रातों में कोई शम्मा मुनव्वर कर दे, जिनके कदमों को किसी रह का सहारा